Okay, this is Building Understanding Part 2 of Lesson 1, Identify and Interpret Integers, right up here. And we're down on number 3. In the last video in Part 1, we did 1 and 2. And now we're on to number 3, and we're going to do 3 and 4 on this video. And so we're on page 7, as you can see that right down here. So let's take a look about what we need to know so we can do part A and B on this one. Jessie is the student treasurer for the video game club. She records club expenses as negative numbers and deposits to the club account as positive numbers. She graphed these amounts on the number line. So she got a -6, a -2, a 4, because she used this right over here. Snacks, she spent $6, so that's she gave $6. She spent $2 on pencils, and then she collected $4 of dues. Okay, let's look at A. Jessie did not label every tick mark on her number line. What is the distance between each tick mark on Jessie's number line? So if we take a look at this, let's zoom in a little bit so we can see it a little more. That was a bad zoom. Okay, so if I was thinking that maybe it was ones, let's count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't work, so let's try twos. 2, 4, 6, 8. So each one represents 2 units. So what is the distance between each tick mark? 2 units. And then you can explain. You can say something that you counted, and if you counted by ones, you would only get to 4, but she did 8. So I know that was a multiple, that they're multiples of 2. So the tick marks are all multiples of 2. And let's look down at B. How would she show an expense of $5 on her graph? So 5 means that I spent $5, and that would be negative. So how would she show that on her graph? It would be -5, and she would place the point between -4 and -6. Since she counted by twos, -5 would be in between, right there in the middle. So -2, -4, -6, right here in the middle would be -5 right there. Now we need to turn to page 8. Okay, we're on page 8 now. This is our last problem of the Build Understanding videos, and it's quite a long one, so let's get started on it. The morning, on number 4, right up here at the top. The morning temperature in a large city in Minnesota was recorded each day for 7 days. The temperatures recorded were -2, 4, 0, 2, -4, -7, and -10 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're going to take all these numbers according to A. We're going to graph them on the line. Now, this is different than the lines we've seen so far. This is a vertical number line. So the positive numbers are on the top, the negative numbers are on the bottom. So we're just going to go ahead and make a little dot on them. So -2 would be -1, -2, we're right here. Then we have 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And put our dot. We have 0. We have 2. We have -4, which is right above -5. We have -7, so -5, -6, -7. and all the way down to -10 down here. Now we're going to look at B. Which pairs of temperatures are opposites? So I'm going to change this over to text real quick. So if I look, I only have two positive numbers. So let's see our first one. I have 1, 2, and then I have -2. So 2 and -2. And then let's look at our other one. We have 4. Do we have a -4? Yes, we do. And then 4 and -4. And how do I know that? That's the next section of this question right there. How do we know that? So we know that because these pairs are the same direction from 0. Or sorry, the same distance. These pairs are the same distance from 0 and on opposite sides of 0. Okay, let's go down and look at C. It says what temperature would be the opposite of -7? So the opposite of -7 would be +7. And then we have to explain it. Okay, because 7 is 7 units from 0 on the number line, but on the opposite side of 0. Okay, let's look at letter D. What would a point at 10 represent? Now remember that we are dealing with temperature, so if we're at +10, that means that we're at 10 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 10 degrees above 0. So that's what we're going to write, 10 degrees above 0. And the other question was, what is the opposite of the opposite of 10? So remember, if I'm going to the opposite of 10 is -10, then if I have to do the opposite of that again, I'm back at 10. So the opposite of opposite, you'll just get the original number. Now our last question on build understanding is, what does it mean for a temperature to be the opposite of another temperature? And that means the two temperatures are the same number of degrees from 0, but on the opposite sides of 0. Okay, and that's all for building understanding. Now what we're going to do, the next section is going to be called check understanding, and you'll see what that is in just one second.